back, guys. How you doing today? Hey, man, make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, click on the bell. You're going to get notifications anytime that we go live, like right now.
Hey, Nate.
Yes.
You know, in our group,
Yes.
we hit 60,000 people.
Yeah, so in our group, I think today...
Man, you're not very excited about that. Are you?
I mean, yeah, man, I'm trying to process it, man. You're disturbing me. Nah, man, just thinking, man, 60,000 people. That's a lot of people. We are actually probably one of the biggest Facebook real estate groups. Now, there's realtor groups that are bigger, but ours is amazing because of the people that are in it and just the interaction and the help that everybody gives. So, man, even though it's not my group, it's our group. And so I appreciate all of you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. That's why I want to get back to you guys so much. I want to show you guys how today what I want to talk about is everybody always has a lot of questions or reasons why they can't do stuff, which is natural. And I want to tell you a little bit about what happened to me when I went bankrupt. It was very hard because it wasn't the first time I failed in life, but I really failed big. I was over leveraged. I had car payments. I had, just credit cards, and I was running everything, and just the economy collapsed, and I had millions of dollars in equity disappear overnight. I had commercial buildings. People quit paying me and I had personally guaranteed them, and it was just brutal. But at the time, it was so brutal. I remember doing a stress test. In my stress test, I had it was over 800, and you start to have mental breakdowns at 400. And I never felt stressed, really, though. And one of my friends asked me, he said, Nate, how are you able to deal with all this? And I thought about it, man. And I said, I didn't know. And I thought about it, and I said, well, before, what I was concerned about was getting, caught by the feds and doing 20 years in prison. So if that was the perspective I was comparing it to, then going through bankruptcy wasn't all that bad. So I was able to still say, what are the solutions? And so there was like the amount of stress I can deal with is just infinite, because there's just not a lot that you can do to break somebody. If you can go through all that, you can't break, then what's going to break you? Ultimately you're going to lose loved ones. And that is, the one thing that you can't predict when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And if that doesn't happen to you, then that means you were one of the ones who got lost. So ultimately, try to live your life in reverse. Think about yourself being on your deathbed and what regrets you may have had. And that's why a big part of what we want to teach you is about motivation. So I want to tell you guys, I'm going to step back to 2012. And I was in the midst of bankruptcy, Chapter 7. I was losing everything. I was fighting with these banks to try to help them negotiate. And most of the banks were very helpful. And there was one bank that was really not helpful. And I won't disclose the name of that bank, but I don't bank with them today. But I would, if the opportunity presented itself. But the banks are forgiving, because a lot of the banks knew that I worked things out with them. I called them up. I brought in people to help buy the mortgages. I even brought in private investors to buy mortgages. I brought people to buy my properties and did what was called just worked it out with them. So they didn't have to go through the foreclosure process with me, because I didn't just hide from them. I stood up and said, how can we work this out, guys? Here's the situation. And even with my investors, man, I called them and told them I was going to have to do bankruptcy. But I explained to them, I said, look, you guys are protected. You're good. And I'm not going to miss a single payment to you. never missed a single payment, and made all of them whole to this day. They're all paid off except for one investor. It was a good friend of mine. He passed, and his wife still has. I mean, they had a couple million with me, and I've got them all paid off. I think they got like 100,000 or something. It's not very much, maybe 200,000. And so, I mean, there's just push through in life, figure out a way. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I came out of bankruptcy in 2013, and by 2015, I had created $35,000 a month in passive income. I had enough money to retire. And keep in mind, guys, $35,000 a month in real estate passive income is $420,000 a year. You're not paying taxes on it. And if you want to understand why, I want you to go back to Yona Weiss, the video that we posted yesterday. It'll show you why. One of the greatest advantages you can get in real estate is, if you're a real estate professional, is paper write-offs, paper losses, that you borrowed the money from the bank to spend, and that money that you spend, if you allocate it correctly, is a write-off year one. So there's another hack too that you can do. And I was talking to one of my buddies and investors yesterday about it. And he's, let's say what you doing, Matt? Matt's taking a picture or something. Oh, we're going live on TikTok. What's up, TikTok? So we got TikTok Drop Top, YouTube BRR group. So, hey, man, we live everywhere, man. We all the way live. Hey, you guys know TikTok pays us. I don't know if you guys know that, man. I'm gonna show you. We made some money off TikTok. So hold on, man. I'm gonna show y'all, man, how much money we made.
We're killing it on TikTok.
Man, we're crushing it, man. I'm gonna go buy me a new Bentley. Let me see here. You go to create TikTok Creator Fund. Look at this, man. I'm gonna go get me a Bentley. See that?
Nope. Zoom in. Oh, there we go.
Look at that. Now, this isn't for. We made 13 cents yesterday, so I'm gonna go get me a Bentley, man. One of them Hot Wheel Bentleys. But it was pretty cool because we didn't even know you can make money on TikTok. And we got, I don't know, what do we got? 15,000 people on TikTok. We don't have a lot. So if you're not on our TikTok, go join us on TikTok and on YouTube. You BRRRR people, man. Go on YouTube. And we hit 60,000, like Matt said. And I am excited about that, man. But I'm more focused on how can I know some of you guys are just going to take off, man. And I'm going to be very, very, very excited about that. But then it's going to be, you guys are the ones that are, man, that's going to be great. But what about the ones who are having more trouble? And so I've been really thinking, like, how can we help them? How can we, push them farther? Because some people, it does take more, man. But I truly want to help everybody. But everybody you can't help. And so I wanted to just share with you guys, when I went bankrupt, how I was able to go in 2 years. My credit was like 400. I didn't have any money. Couldn't go to any banks. But I said, you know what I'm good at? I'm really good at putting deals together. I know how to find deals. And I am a beast when it comes to construction management, bridging the gap between the construction managers, the leasing team. So what I did was I went up and I found people who had strengths that were not my strengths. Or they had good credit. That was not my strength at the time. Now my credit's pretty good. They had money, which I could still get money because I knew how to syndicate capital and put deals together. Plus, like I said, I didn't run from my investors. So my investors were still saying, Nate, what do you need? And I mean, because one of them said, like, look, dude, I saw the worst of the worst. Like, you could have easily just signed a piece of paper and walked away. And they were like, you did not. And that means more to me than anything, because I know that if you stood by me and the investments through this, that we can make it through anything. That's important. That's integrity. And that's something that I'm not going to say I can teach you. That's something that you just have to have. And I tell you guys, man, I was a drug dealer, and but look, man, I still had integrity. And And I know that's hard to believe, man. And I was a drug dealer out of necessities to survive. Matt, what are you doing, man? You're messing up our screen, bro. Sorry, TikTok. TikTok. Mess over here, messing with my screen. TikTok, 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 TikTok. I think my Rolex needs a, they say gold might go to 50,000. So, I want to give you guys what I was able to do, because a lot of you guys say, what would you do if your credit was bad? I would find somebody that had credit. I would start working on my credit. The day I came out of bankruptcy, I started working on my credit. Within 3 years, I still had massive losses from my bankruptcy that the trustee, when you go through bankruptcy, you have all these losses, and I was able to keep them. So I was able, when you keep them, you get to carry them forward until you use them. So I was able to, with a negative $359,000 tax return and a negative, I think it was $329,000 tax return, still qualify for a $750,000 mortgage, which that was 3 years, less than three, right around 3 years coming out of bankruptcy. And I was able to get a conforming loan. I don't know how I did it, but I had a great buddy of mine, loan officer, in John Saylor. He's freaking awesome. And I went through Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo, man, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man, because I did have a building that was with Wells Fargo, and they completely charged it off, and I ended up getting that building back for free out of the bankruptcy. They wiped the mortgage and everything out, guys, and that's kind of what, when you go through bankruptcy, it's not always all the way bad. It's you're going to make the best out of a bad situation. But ultimately, the deals were great back then, man. I was picking up apartment buildings for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a unit. These are units now that are worth $50,000 a unit. Now, we had to renovate those, but we got one that just went live either today or yesterday into the market. We paid $1,200,000. We paid $1 million for the 97 units, which, do the math. And this was in 2013, and got the owner to finance. And then a year and a half out, we stabilized asset, pulled the cash out. And guys, I was able to do this while I was coming out of bankruptcy. My stuff was shot. So really, ultimately, what I'm telling you is it's all about solutions, finding the right partners, knowing what your skill set is. And if you don't have part or all of it, man, you better be really good at what you do. And I was never lazy, man. I would just work tirelessly, and my wife, she supported me, just, and allowed me. And you know, at times I know she was, you know, here's how you know, man, my wife went like a couple months without getting her nails done one time. And I was just like, didn't have the money even for that, man. But that, how do you feel as a man when you can't do that? And she came and she was like, what, do you need me to get a job? And I was like, nah, man, that wasn't our agreement. Like, you're gonna raise the kids. You're gonna raise our kid. I'm gonna do this. I'm a man. I'm gonna get this done. So I'm not saying that, you know, that's everybody, but that was just how I felt. Okay, so don't take that the wrong way. But I just felt like, man, that's not gonna happen. That was my determination. That was my why. So you got to find your why. That's got to push you harder. That's got to push you harder, man. And then one of the things about my kid, though, now, man, is one of the bad things about spoiling your kids. My kid is like, hey, Dad, you know, he must be paid for everything. Hey, Dad, will you pay me to clean the pool? Hey, Dad, will you pay me to wipe my butt? Hey, Dad, will you pay me more to wipe my butt good? It's like he wants to be paid for everything. I'm like, man, what's wrong with these kids? But that's what happens when you spoil them, because you got passive cash flow. So I can't tell you how to not spoil your kid, but what I can tell you how to do is make millions in real estate. And that's why I want you to follow me. So ultimately, it was finding everything. Every day I would sit there. Okay, what problem do I have? Well, I don't have no credit. Can't get the deal done. Okay, who can I bring in that has credit to partner with? Don't have any money. Okay, who can I bring in to partner with? What do I have? Well, I'm great at management. I'm great at leadership. I'm great at, you know, find your strengths and then bring in other people to compensate for your weakness. Bring them in as equity partners. And you can do it no matter what your circumstances are. If you can believe and you can identify what your strengths are. If you don't have any strengths, you have to develop some. So one of the things that I told Matt I wanted to do was, and I think they should do this in school, but they don't. Where's our, let me go through here. I just wanted to bring up this on an online course. There was a list of things that we wanted you guys to do here. Mindset quiz. We're going to have a link in there for that, or actual quiz, personality test, and a strength and weakness test. Why is this so important? Because then you're going to know what you're naturally good at. You know, it's like if you're really good at throwing a ball, being accurate, but they never put you in as a quarterback. I mean, you'll miss out on what life has for you. So, you know, I'm going to go over one other thing here. That was the cash flow with bankruptcy. So I don't want you to feel like whatever your circumstances that you cannot overcome it, because you can. And hey guys, look, I heard these crickets the other day, man. It was going off. If you hear them crickets going off, we got this. It's called a Rodecaster. It's mixing board, whatever. If you hear them going off, let us know, and then I'll tell Matt. Because Matt, did you turn the volume down on that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we're rookies, man. We're new to this. Matt's been doing it a long time, but I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. The other thing that I want to talk about is you got your cash flow. You understand that you have to push through to get to that cash flow. There's going to be things that you aren't good at. Doesn't matter. Figure out a solution. My partner, Matt, over at Venture Man, good friend of mine too. One of the things he told me, and I never thought about it this way. He said, you know what, Nate, you know what we ultimately get paid for? And I was like, well, our equity. And he was like, no. What do we get paid for? What do we do every day? He said, we solve problems. He said, the bigger the problem is, the more money we make, because the bigger the problem is, there are less amount of people that want to do it. So that was to me, that was great, because I never thought about it that way. So now I want you to change your mind and say, oh, I got a big problem. Well, what's that mean? Big problem, more money. You're going to make more money. So don't think about big problems as, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Think about it as, man, I'm about to make more money. For me, for my investors, for my family, for my great-great-grandkids, for everybody, and my partners. So, guys, whatever problem you have that's keeping you from getting there, trust me. 400 credit score, millions of dollars in debt, going through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and I was able to buy millions of dollars worth of properties as soon as I cleared my bankruptcy. That's coming up with solutions. And that's ultimately all you have to do. Now there's other things that you have to do. You have to be really good, find what you're really good at, and you have to seek solutions. You have to start working on your credit immediately. You have to start working on your tax returns. You have to understand cost segregation. You have to understand a lot of stuff, which we're going to cover in a course. But ultimately, you got to change your mind that you can get it done. You can't say, well, I'm poor, so I can't get it done. Or I'm this, I'm that, I can't. Doesn't matter, man. That's an excuse, and that will keep you from your destiny. I'm here to tell you that 88% of millionaires are self-made. 90% of them, you guys know it, fill in the gap. 90% of them made their money where? Yes, real estate. So, next question we got a lot of. And if you guys have any questions about how I did any of that, I will tell you. So you guys start commenting below, but I'm going to jump right into another video. And Matt, I want you to cut these up and post these because people need to see this.
Hey, and that cost segregation too?
Yes.
I mean, last night's video with Yona?
Yeah, Yona Weiss is amazing, man. It's basically, look, I'm not even going to get into it. I really don't even want to, like the BRRRR group, it's a little bit more advanced, but I'm going to show you guys how you can break it down and how you can do your own without spending a bunch of money. Now, ultimately, when you get to doing the bigger deals, or if you're doing a bunch of single family homes, then I want you to call Yona Weiss, man. I mean, him and his company are just freaking amazing. I'm going to see if they got a link for us too, where we can get an affiliate link and a special for you guys, and then kind of fill out what it is that they're looking for, because we don't want to just send a bunch of people over there. You're doing a single family home. That's not really what they do. But let's say you're doing 8 of them. Maybe they can save you a ton of money in taxes. So, Matt, anything else?
Yeah. If you just go look, everybody's looking at the title or description.
Yep.
They can go and sign up for the emails for the course. So when we launch it, they will be the first in line.
Yep. So, hey, TikTok. Hey, can TikTok give us questions too?
Yeah. Yep. People's asking on TikTok already.
All right. Hey, man, we appreciate you guys too. And then, so, hey, man, we passed 60,000 people though. That's pretty amazing, man. That is, I mean, just in January, we're at 30,000. We're at 60,000. I think we'll be at 100,000 by August. And we have,
I would say September.
Well, 2,000 people added a week will be in August. So, right, Matt?
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly. April, May, June, July, August. 5 times 4.4 is 20. Yes, it'll be August.
August.
Yes, it will be.
Okay.
Unless we fall off or whatever. But
hey, if you guys know people that need to know this information, add them into the group.
Yeah, and people that really need, but so look, let's jump over here. So I'm going to go over when to sell versus when to hold. A lot of people ask that. When do you sell? When do you hold? Because the whole BRRR process is about buying and holding. But there are times when I sell. Why am I selling? I'm selling because I know that let's say I've pushed this asset from 100,000 to 170. I pulled out 130. The asset stalled off. It's not going to move in value anymore. Why? Because there are no more basic jobs, or basic jobs are falling off, or we got an oversupply of inventory. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, okay, I got 30,000, 40,000 in equity. That $40,000 in equity is only paying me 5%. So that's not a good return. I'm going to price sell that property unless I see massive inflation on the horizon, which we see right now, guys. I do. And I'm going to do a whole video about inflation. I want you guys to understand how the feds work, how the money system works. But I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. You guys just continue to follow me, and I'm going to show you over time. But I'm going from the beginning. I want you guys to get the basic stuff, which we're still in really the basic stuff, which is still high level. So if that property dies off and you don't see any more inflation coming for it, or any more appreciation in that area, or you have like job loss in that area, basic jobs, then you're only getting a 5% return, and you could pull that money out and take it to another asset and get a 20% return in an area that's going up in value quicker. That's when you sell the asset off, when it stalls out. Or I'm going to tell you another reason I've sold assets off, me and my partner, Mike, is we've had assets that were good assets. We thought they were good assets, and we just continued to have problems out of them. Maybe maintenance, maybe sewer backups, things that we couldn't control, the city. Or maybe just you getting bad tenant after bad tenant and you're qualifying them. Then you just say, you know what? That's a problem asset. We're going to get rid of it, even though on paper it works. So there are times when we sell off assets. Most of the time, though, it's because we feel like we push this asset like the one we're selling now. We have $2.5 million in it, $7 million sell. 24 of them units ain't mine. But anyways, we're going to net 5-point-some million. Can I push this asset we pushed it from 2.5 million to 5.7 million. Can I push it from 5.7 to 6 or 7 or to 7 or 8? Probably not. Then pull the cash out, and it's scattered site. So it's a little harder to manage. So how much of your time is it consuming? If it's consuming a bunch of your time to manage, then you don't necessarily want that either. You have to know what your time's worth. In other words, early on in my career, I realized I have to make $500 a day. And then it became $500 an hour. Then it became $5,000 an hour. Then it became $10,000 an hour. Then it became more and more and more. And then you're saying, wait a minute, man. I'm out here doing mulch, man. I got to make $1,000 an hour. It's not worth it. So you have to know what your time's worth. Otherwise, you're always distracted saying, hey, I can go do this flip and I can make $10,000 in 2 weeks. And it's like you can, But how many hours are you going to have tied up in that? Well, I'm going to have 20 hours tied up in it. Okay, and you can make how much? 10,000. That's 500 an hour. Is that a good utilization of your time? And when you get there and you grow and you scale, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You have to know that. Well, I got to pay this maintenance guy 25 an hour or whatever. And you're out doing unclogging toilets. Is that a good utilization of your time? So time management, you only have so much of it. You will run out of time before you run out of money. You will die before you run out of money. So use your time wisely, just like you would your money. So, Matt, that's 2 videos right there. You can break up, guys. And any questions, man? We're going to open up for questions, man.
Well, we just need to know where people are from first.
Where you guys from, man? Chime in. Let us know where you're from. If you're on the BRR group, go over, watch us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button. If you're on TikTok, hey, man, subscribe. The link is in the bio. You can go over there, check us out on YouTube. What questions do you have? And Matt, for TikTok, we have the TikTok challenge. No, we don't look for, I'll answer some questions, but look, we want that challenge too. We gotta put that together for the people on TikTok, because we want to give you guys a one-on-one with the group of people who did what we asked them to do, so that we can help you get your next 5 years planned out.
For sure.
So where you guys at today, man? What part of the country you guys in? We are in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Chicago, Miami, Illinois.
And it looks like it's going to rain here. The sun was out. The sun's gone. And my energy got zapped when that left, to be honest with you.
Someone said Canada, Texas, Chicago.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wow. Cool. Love seeing all these people.
Anybody in Cincinnati?
Savannah, Georgia, Philadelphia, Kentucky.
Is anybody in Cincinnati?
Cincinnati people, chime in.
All right. So, guys, what questions you guys got today, man? Matt, give me some questions, brother, so we can help some people out, man.
Yep. All right. Let's go ahead and hit a TikTok question real quick. Someone asked, what is this? But that is just, I replied to that. Is it better to buy a house to flip with your own money or to use a loan from a bank?
It depends on your goals. If you're sitting on $1 million and you're getting a 1% return from the bank on it, and you can go create a mortgage and loan yourself the money at 8% as a hard money lender, then you take the money out of the bank that's making less than 1%, you make 8% on it, right? It's all a mathematical equation. What is your money that's sitting still doing for you? And then make sure that anytime you put your own capital out, you loan it to your LLC from another entity or personally. That way you are in first position, as the bank would be if something happens to the property. Let's say a contractor comes in, you have a dispute with a contractor, and he sues you and gets a mechanic lien. Well, guess what? This guy here who has the mortgage is in front of him. He can't get through that. So your money's protected, okay? If you set it up right. So ultimately, the situation is going to be different. But if you have a lot of money and your money's not making you anything and you can lend yourself money, ultimately that's called vertical integration, and that is a great utilization of your money. But if your money's making you 8% and you could borrow the money from the bank for 4%, obviously use the bank's money. That's just a math problem.
Is the course ready?
Heck no, man. Working on it, man. But I'm so detailed about everything. I'm trying to, we're working on it, but by the end of May, man, I'm going through and I just want, I want to be able to reach you and make sure that I'm explaining and giving you raw data, not just telling you, because I want to give you data and show you everything, the graphs, the charts. I'm so analytical because I want to show you, I want to make sure you understand exactly what I'm telling you and use real life examples on every video. So it's very time consuming to scrape all that data And then even scraping all that data, I'm like, no, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I know exactly what I need to show you. And it's really time consuming to put out. So, but it will be by the end of May, we'll be launching it.
Going back to one of the videos earlier, if you write off too much, won't it hurt your income?
Well,
your earned income.
He has earned income. Huh?
That's what it's, if you write off too much, won't it hurt your earned income?
So remember what I told you? I was able to qualify for a $750,000 mortgage, even though my tax returns were negative $359,000 and negative $329,000. So if you go to a residential banker, yes, it will. But I'm going to show you how to break through that. I'm actually going to interview one of my buddies, my CPAs, to show you how you can. There's a lot of stuff that can be added back in. Residential loan officers don't really know how to do that. But I'm going to show you, because you have to know going forward. You're like, hey, I got a negative $800,000 tax return. A normal banker's going to look at it like, I can't do anything with that. But if you say, hey, look, man, it wasn't a real loss. It was a paper loss. What's a paper loss? Well, look, I had to replace a roof. That's a 30-year item. Not going to happen again. I had to spend, I bought a hotel. Here's a perfect example. Bought a hotel. The hotel was $10 million. The FF&E, which is the fixtures, furniture, and equipment, were $2 million of the $10 million we allocated towards fixtures, furniture, and equipment. Well, that $2 million, boom, as soon as I bought the hotel, $2 million write-off. Why? Because the useful life of that is maybe the beds, the furniture, the TVs, all that stuff. The useful life of it, the sheets, is all under 20 years on a macro schedule. And if it's under 20 years on a macro schedule, that means that you can accelerate and take bonus depreciation and expense it. So you have to know how to go back to the bank and say, hey, I want you to add this stuff back in. It wasn't a real loss. It was a paper loss. So I know that's a lot to wrap your brain around. But we will have a video in there with my CPA showing you exactly how to do that, and a banker.
I'm on track to make $1 million this year with my pressure washing business. Should I double my business, or should I switch to real estate?
No, man. If you're going to make $1 million, brother, you want to continue to grow that business. If you can grow it by 100%, grow your business. But then what you got to do is you have to find a way to become a real estate professional. Take the money that you've made out of there, invest it in real estate, so that you can take these losses that we're talking about and take them against your income. I cannot tell you how to do that. I am not a CPA or an attorney, but I can tell you that if you get with a good CPA, he should be able to advise you on that. But no, dude, if you got that type of growth, man, you're doing $1 million gross, and you're probably running 15 to 20% bottom line revenue, maybe 25% on pressure washing. It means you're bringing home $250,000 a year. If you can double it and you could scale and you can keep your margins in line, do it, man. Stack that money and then invest in bigger projects. And if you are a accredited investor, I'm going to work on putting a link out. Anybody that's an accredited investor that's interested in investing with us, we have deals. We have one right now that we got to raise about $800,000 or $900,000 on, but I think we already have commitments on that, and with the investors that have invested with us for a long time. So, but grow that company, brother. Grow that company, and then just follow me. Reach out to me. I'll kind of give you some guidance, and maybe if you don't have a good accountant, maybe see if I can put you in touch with one who does understand how to do that, because it's a little more complicated than just doing it.
When you are buying rentals, do you avoid bad neighborhoods?
No, I look for them. And here's why. Because most of the time, when you're in a growing area, bad neighborhoods are where you're going to make all the money at. But you got to know what part of the bad neighborhood. Because look, let's say this street here, people are starting to renovate, and 2 blocks away, things are really cheap. Well, what's driving the market in that area? And if I can see that that market's going to continue to grow, then I know they're going to come over to this street and over to this street. So they are naturally going to take my C property, and it's going to turn into an A property just by sitting there, which is how you become very wealthy. Or But you got to know what part of the neighborhood to invest in, because you could be off 6 blocks and you're 20 years out. So you got to know where the movement's coming. You got to know where the jobs are coming from. And then on top of that, you can look at, we made a lot of money coming in. We knew they were bringing in a highway ramp. Well, guess what? They're not going to bring a highway ramp through a wealthy neighborhood. That's not going to happen. Wealthy people are going to fight them, man. They're like, dude, I'm an attorney. You're not tearing my house down. So guess where they're coming? They're coming through the bad neighborhood. If they need to come and assemble land in a community, guess where they're coming? They're not coming into the wealthy neighborhood and knocking down stuff because they can't afford. It doesn't make sense. They're coming into the neighborhood that's distressed. That's where they're going to do stuff at. So look for those type of neighborhoods. There's a ton of money to be made in them. But you can also, like I said, be 20 years out. You don't want to wait that long. You got to be careful, and you got to really know what you're doing. That's why the basic job video that we're going to show you is going to help you determine that factor by looking at how much inventory is available, how much is going to be needed based off this new business coming into the area. Believe it or not, it's a mathematical equation. And then what does it cost to buy and renovate that? And then what does it cost to build? And if it's here way below, you're probably in good shape.
How about investing in the U.S. from outside the country?
We actually do have investors that are outside the country that invest with us. And it's all just paperwork. Depends on what country you're in, how hard it is. Some countries, it's hard for them to even get money out of the country. And other countries, it's easy. So that all depends. I know that United States is really good for driving returns right now. And in a lot of other countries, especially like Canada, they can't hardly get any yield. Their inflation, their appreciation is crazy on their property, but you can't get any yield, man. The cap rates are so compressed. So reach out to us if you're interested in that, and we'll put you. We got an investor questionnaire that we have to have filled out before we start talking to people about projects. That's part of the SEC regulation, and I'll have my attorney speak on that. Actually, if you guys are really interested, man, we do have deals, a lot of deals that are good deals too, that we feel like are good deals, and we can't really even show you the numbers on them. We can show you the numbers on deals that we've done in the past, but just reach out to me if you guys are interested in investing and you're an accredited investor.
That was from YouTube. So let's go to a Facebook question now. Can you please share your CPA info, please?
I can't do that because he's not really taking new clients right now, but he will speak, and I will have him. Find a list of CPAs that he know. See, he worked in the hotel space with our partners, and that's how we got lucky and got him. So he knew the stuff that you could accelerate. He called me up. And that's how you treat people, guys. He called me and said, "Hey, Nate, I got a $51,000 refund coming from you." I was like, "How?" He said, "With COVID, they allow you to go back, I think it was 5 years, and any taxes that you paid, you can use your paper losses." And I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty awesome." So I was like, "Dude, I'm giving you a bonus." He don't know it yet, but I'm giving him an extra $5,000 out of that because it's just give him $5,000. Like, here you go, man.
Here's a little add-on to that. Can I have an out-of-state tax guy?
Yeah, I don't know why you couldn't. I mean, there's some people that use people overseas. The IRS, I don't think really cares about that. You just have to understand. I don't know if there's a certain license that you got to have, so I can't really answer that. I mean, my guy's out of state. He's not in Ohio, so, I think you can, but I really don't know the rules and regulations behind that. So, but yeah, I think it's perfectly legal to have one outside of your state.
Perfect. Nate, is it typically a good sign or bad for an investor looking to buy a house when a lawyer is selling a property instead of a real estate agent?
No, that's really good because that means that it was in probate a lot of times. And attorneys, that is one of the best lead generators. You get it when an attorney and say, "Hey, look, man, you see attorneys get properties, and let's say somebody inherited the property. Now the attorney's involved. It's in probate, which is a court, and then you can make a lot of money off them because the attorney isn't looking to absolutely get retail. He's just looking to get rid of the property at a fair value, which a lot of times you get distressed real estate there. So, man, if you got a plug on an attorney, call them, say, hey, I want to be your go-to person. Any property you get, I want to make your life easy, Mr. Attorney. I want to bring these, you bring me the deals. I'll get you a fair market value. That's how you identify and find properties in a tight market. I know a guy in Cincinnati who makes millions a year dealing with probate. I'll see if I can get him on our podcast. You know what? I will. I'll get him on. I'll get him on to share some of that information with you guys and how he works it out. Let's say there's 5 family members. He'll come in and 2 of them don't get along. He'll come in. He'll bridge the gap. He'll get all 5 of them to sign the paperwork. He'll get the deal done. So the attorney calls him because he'll go in and negotiate where the attorney maybe gets stuck in camp.
I'm not sure if you can really answer this, but what kind of returns does your investors make?
Well, I can't really answer that, but I can tell you that typical in past deals, what was typical in past deals that we do is we look for about a minimum of 15. We don't do a deal if we can't get our investors 15% internal rate of return per year. That's going to be inclusive of cash flow, and typically it's between 15 and 21%. So we look for a 2x. We look to be able to double the money in 5 years. And I hope I'm able to say that. If not, my attorney will correct me. But we look for good returns, leverage returns, and 15 to 20% per year. And that is inclusive of cash flow and disposition of the asset. We usually target a 5-year disposition, but in all honesty, we're typically in and out in 3. So that's our average hold. We always project 5, but typically it's 3. But you never know. See, the market hasn't turned on us in over 11 years. So when the market turns, you may, and you know what? I got to hold it. It's not time. You thought it was going to be time, and then the market turned. So you can't control the market. You can watch for indicators, but they can move fast and swiftly.
And hey, guys, just don't forget the link in the description or in the title. That is the link to sign up for Nate's course. That we will send out all information when the course is ready. But that is just a sign up to be first in line for the course. First in line is always the best in line.
I don't believe that. I like the fast pass. Everybody else gets in line, you just walk past them.
Well, that's first in line. You'll be first in line then.
Oh, yeah, because you're signing up for the fast pass. There you go.
There you go.
I just feel like if he's going to do this marketing thing, I just feel like, you know, if you're going to do this thing where you get people to sign up like early, you got to give them something, Matt. Work on that. You got to give
we'll
them something.
send out something to them.
Step your game up, bro. Give them a spread. Man, give them something.
What do you want to give them?
Being honest, like, man, hey.
What do you want to give them?
I don't know. You're the one coming up with all this,
Well,
man.
we have all these people asking, so I'm like, hey.
Okay, then get them something. Get them something that's useful and valuable, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. You do it. You figure out what it is, and then I'll support your ideas.
All right. Let's do a cut sheet.
Let's talk about it, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Come up with something, man.
All right. What's the best resource to get info on what's coming to a town or city before the news gets it?
Well, I mean, we have like paid subscriptions on stuff, but the Business Courier, call the local building department, find out what the. I mean, there's one that we gave out to you that was free. It was bestplaces.net. But, you know, look for job growth. And I don't really know if I could tell you one in particular. We use ERC, which that's a paid membership. So bestplaces.net is okay. But really drill down into the area that you want to go to and call up the, what do you call it, the commerce or whatever it's called, the business commerce. Say, hey, what kind of new jobs do you have coming? I'm looking to maybe develop in this community, and I want to know what you guys are doing and kind of interview them. Say, what makes your town so special? And I'm looking to bring money into your community, invest with you guys. Why should I do that? Ask them. They say, well, screw you. Then probably, well, find somebody else to talk to, or maybe that's not a city you want to invest your money in.
People are saying you should do a giveaway of a 15-minute one-on-one. That's a lot of people. Huh?
Yeah. I am. It's right now. Come on. It's one-on-one. What you guys got, man?
We got lots of questions.
Let's get through some of them, brother, because it's already started to rain. And guess what? I got guys with a saw, jackhammer, because guess what I had today, man? I got my CO on a building, and then we cut the water. The water was running. And then we had to call in the underground detective. We got a leak underground. Guess where it just happened to be at? Well, it was on a new patio we just poured. But I'm thankful that it wasn't underneath the inside of the building, because that would have been worse. We'd have had to pull up the floor, jackhammer the inside of the building. Now it's raining on them out there with the jackhammer. So I hope the rain goes pretty quick.
What's your thoughts on buying land just to hold?
It's speculative, and it doesn't have any cash flow. So it's like buying gold. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, but in the meantime, it doesn't get you anything, man. It can hurt you. The return has to be astronomical, because when's the disposition going to be? If it has no income coming in and it costs you, you got to upkeep it. What if people dump on it? You got to pay the taxes on it. You got to have insurance on it in case somebody gets hurt out there. I don't like just land banking. Now, I do land bank areas where I'll come in and I'll assemble a lot of properties that have cash flow, and I will have infill lots in there too. But that's because I'm trying to assemble an acre or something where, I know that area is coming up, and I just want to buy and hold it, and I'll put it in a portfolio with other things that have cash flow. So, but as far as buying a piece of land and then you going to work to pay for it, to lose money, I mean, I don't like that idea. Unless it's like it's worth $10,000 an acre, it could be worth $1 million an acre, because you could rezone it. But other than that, I don't know, man. I mean, it's too many different variables for me to give you an honest opinion. If I saw the piece of land, I knew the piece of land, maybe my answer would be different.
When doing a BRRRR deal with partners, raising money from outside investors, how do you typically structure the deal?
Well, I listen to my investors. What is your goal? What are you looking to get? And then I see if I can make a deal work and reach their goals. Always listen to your investors. It's not about you. It's about your investors. It's about what they want. They can invest their money in plenty of places. So what's going to set you aside and make you different? That's it. And don't feel like your investors are too greedy if they want, 50%. If they want 50% and you don't have somebody wanting to give it to you at 40%, then that's probably in line with your experience and the deal.
I'm rehabbing a house for a rental and was wondering, do you use the glue down vinyl plank flooring or the ones that float?
We use a floating.
The house is from 1905.
Yeah, you really probably the flooring on 1905 maybe wavy a little bit. But I would use.
He rebuilt the subfloor to level it.
Yeah, we just don't use the glue down. It's not that's a little more flimsy and cheaper. We use a 12 mil with a backing on it with a 10-year commercial warranty, and we get it installed at $285 a foot. Anybody in the Cincinnati region or Northern Kentucky, I can hook you up with my flooring guy. He's amazing. He has 22 crews, and he is maybe charge you a little more than $285 unless you're doing a bunch of volume, but it's great flooring, beautiful colors. And we can't even buy it and have it installed. It cost us more. So he went I think he went out of the country and had so much of this made just for what we're using and other people. And he got us, he won our business over is what he did. Cause I was like, dude, you're too high. And he came back, he said, what about this? I said, well, bring it to me. Let me see it. And he brought it. And I was like, man, this is some good flooring.
The guy from Canada revised his question. Can a Canadian do a BRRRR deal in the U.S.? So
Can what?
Can a Canadian do a BRRRR deal in the U.S.? So not necessarily investing with you, but investing in his own BRRRR property, single family.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We love you, Canadians, eh? Yeah, you can do a BRRRR deal here. Now, the thing that you're going to have to figure out is how you do the capital stack, the financing, because I know we had some people we were dealing with out of Canada, and they could not get financing in the United States because they were not U.S. nationals. And I had actually no, I'm sorry, guys. I got a payroll question. My assistants texted me. I gave everybody a raise yesterday, man. We passed a couple, we passed a couple inspections, and my guys just been working so hard. And we just gave them raises in January. I called her. I said, hey, man, give them another raise. Guys, I got to get this. This is another payroll question that they don't have. So hold on. This is my person out there to pick up a check, and obviously if they're calling me, they don't have one. Hey, Sheena.
We got a quick break here.
I'll resend it, but I did send that over.
If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them below. We will have Nate answer them as soon as he gets back. Now, don't forget, the online course is not ready yet, but the online course is ready to be signed up for. The price isn't decided on yet. It is going to be cheap, because Nate doesn't want to make it to where you can't afford it. He also has all this knowledge that he has learned over the years, and he just wants to give back. So if you have any questions that you want to see that more detail into the course, any YouTube videos that you want to see a lot more detail in, it'll more than likely be in the course. But if you have any questions, we'll always be adding to the course. And you'll also get a special Facebook group when you join the group or join the course. So if you're joining the Facebook or the course, you get a special Facebook group that will have special interaction from Nate. More of a one-on-one type scenario, almost like a mastermind. But as the group grows, of course, there'll be more people in it. But yeah, I mean, Nate's excited for this course. If you just click the link, go there, and then submit your info, and you'll be the first in line, or you'll have the fast pass.
Sorry, guys. We got a lot of people that got to get paid, and they couldn't find our invoice, so I resent it. Hopefully that'll take care of that. Thank you guys for staying tuned, though. All right, so what's the next question?
Let's see. We have a lot of questions.
Then we're going to go down to a property. Let's go live down at this property, man. I want to show you guys how I got one property I did here.
Where are we going?
I'm going to show you this property that we did, guys.
Okay.
And we're almost finished with it. I've been working on it for like 2 years. We had a lot of problems, MSD, sewers, underground. We're going to be all in for 1.8. It's worth $4.8 million. Vertical integration, knowing what areas. So we are going to do a cash out refi. I'm cashing out $2 million on that one property. Me and my partner Mike and my partner Daniel from California, we have we're going to do the cash out on that property of $2 million. The property is going to have $9,800 a month in positive cash flow and $6,500 in principal reduction. So we're $2 million cash out, plus all our investors back, all our money back. We did most of that with our money, and we did bank financing. We're going to do 75% out, $2 million cash out, and like I said, man, $15,000 a month in cash flow and principal reduction. Then year 4, could be year 3, because it leased up so quick. Even the rents I think I'm charging, I'm too low on. So I'm going to be able to push year 3, the rents, another $250, which by that time I'll have my principal reduction paid down. I'll be able to go do another cash out refi with them increased rents and pull out another 1.5 million. I mean, that's a crazy property right there, man. And that property, it's only 30 units. But I knew the area was on fire. I bought it. The units were $450 a unit. It was falling apart. I can't wait to show you guys this property here. Because that's how I want to show you how to identify areas. This was a rundown D neighborhood, D building, just in bad shape. And we were able to turn it into a class B plus property. It was we turned it into an A class property in a B area. And that's how you make money.
We like making money.
We do like making money. And the one thing I like doing just as much as making money is showing you guys how to make money. Because I come from poverty, man. And I don't want you to feel like, well, I grew up poor, so I can't. Look, man, stop, man. That's a lie, man. Stop lying. Stop letting people lie to you. Stop letting them project their fears and insecurity on you. You can have it all. Wish you could play Mike's video. Can you play his video, man? I want to show you my partner put this video together. Can you play this video?
Yeah, let me download it.
Yeah, man, I want to show you guys, man. My partner, Mike Ely. If you guys aren't a member for Mike, over Department of Investing Secrets, man, he came out with this video down in Sarasota. We have a little less than a half.
Is it okay if we share it? Is it?
Yeah, man, share it, man. This is my partner, Mike Ely, guys, but I want to show you this inspiration here. Can you share it on TikTok too?
It won't be on TikTok, no.
Okay, sorry, guys. We can't show you guys on TikTok, but, we are, and let me know when you're playing it, and I'll let you play. It's about 2 minutes long, 3 minutes. It's not long. But I want you to pay attention to the video and the words that go in behind this, because this comes from somebody who grew up poor, just like me. Me and Mike came up together, and Mike is a African-American guy. He's my best friend. He's actually in Aspen, Colorado, skiing right now. And then last week he was over in Puerto Rico.
Is he skiing or is he sitting in the hot tub? Like every
he's
video,
doing both, man. He's skiing. Well, I think he hurt his leg, but they go out there and they go skiing and everything. But yeah, he's been all over on Facebook, and I'm just glad he's getting vacation because, man, he works so hard, man. He's sending me his stuff over at 2 a.m. But we got a place down in Sarasota. Anybody got some land down there? You talking about some land down there, man? We got a half acre, man. That joint was $6.4 million for a half acre. But going up 180 feet, and we got a good friend of Mike's, and he'll be my good friend too. Great guy, man, out of Bolivia that builds skyscrapers. So
can you send me the video one more time?
Look at that, man. He erased the video. He erased the video, man. You believe that? Huh? Yeah, what?
No, I didn't delete it.
Okay.
Let's see. Steps to BRRRR on my primary residence. He has $120,000 in equity.
Are you looking to move out, or do you want to just pull the cash out and then do a BRRRR? I mean, that's easy, guys. And one of the questions I get all the time, look, just go do a home equity line of credit, pull some of the cash out. As you use it, you'll have to pay debt on it, but you'll be creating income. You create equity in your property. You're able to go loan the money from your HELOC to this new LLC that you started. Then you're not doing a cash out refi. You're doing a rate and term refinance. You're paying off your original lender, who just happens to be you.
What's your thoughts on HELOC?
HELOCs are great, man. I mean, look, you're borrowing the money for 4% or 3%, and you're going to making 20% on it. It's common sense. It's great, right? Just make sure you are doing good deals. Make sure you're doing deals that are in appreciating areas. We're going to show you all that, man. I talked to you about basic jobs and why they are so important. They're so important because they create more jobs, which create more people that need new housing. Then when more people need new housing, they have to build new housing. And the cost to build new housing is typically way higher than existing inventory, driving the prices up. And simplicity.
You ready for this video?
Yes, let's do the video.
Dreaming just won't get it. And paying bills all your life and then dying And then while you lay in the casket, you talk about, I made it to heaven. I don't know about you, but that's not the reality or legacy I want to live. I'm not trying to die to get to heaven. You can have heaven right now. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to be up there, but you are more than average. You were brought here on this earth to live the abundant life in the land of abundance. Now, there's nothing wrong with dreaming. I encourage it. I actually believe in BHAG's big, hairy, audacious goals. But taking massive action with your dreams, with your BHAGs, now that's what makes dreams a reality. People come to me and say, Mike, there's no way I can do it because you're smarter than me. I say you're wrong. I say you can do it. It's not that you have to be smart. Now, but you do need to be competent, but relentless and not afraid to fail. Quite frankly, my failures were my best teachers. Now, trust me, it doesn't really feel that great to fail, but I cherish my failures. It's not that I'm smarter or better than you. It's just I didn't quit after the second or third try. I was told that all things are possible. So instead of only trying 2 or 3 times, I tried 597 more times. And on the 600th try, I got it. And I learned what not to do and what to do along the way. This is what it means to outwork them. Do more than what is expected of you. The reason you are not winning is because you quit too early. You will never win if you quit. Walking out on a path of uncertainty just because you believe in the dream, well, now that's unnatural. Because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're walking through this uncomfortable place, the place of unfamiliarity. But this is where your greatest learning begins. This is where the magic happens. Then as you walk through this wilderness, you feel like you're lost and the mountain lions of life begin to attack. But then a lifeline is thrown to you. Someone builds the bridge you need to get to your life and financial destination. Stop dreaming because this is your backyard of life. That's your hotel room with the view. That's your boat. That's your condo on the water. But don't limit your thinking. Be the developer. Be the builder with equity. Be the investor with equity. Take control of your life. Take control of your financial destination. Because the harder you work, the luckier you get. God bless you, God keep you, and may God bless you beyond your belief, but not your capacity. And remember, you're one big deal away.
Let us know what you guys thought about that video, man. But that's just the inspiration. That's how we view life. So thank you guys for watching that, man. And that was a great video that Mike did, man. It just touched me because it was touched so many things. And that's the bridge that we want to become for you to get to your financial destinations. We want to be that person that gives you that hand and pulls you up. That's what this is all about, man. I just really want to give back, man. This is not, I'm losing money doing this stuff, to be honest with you guys, man. It's really, feel like it's when you reach your level of success that you really want to give back to people and just change lives, man. And it's going to be amazing to see the people whose lives are changed behind this. But I don't want to take any of the glory for it, man, because I was saved by God, by Jesus Christ. And that's who, for me, it's my salvation. That's who I got to give glory to. So, Everybody has their own path in life, but that's what drives me to want to give back to you guys. So what other questions we got, man? Okay, so I'm going to go to TikTok. What is your advice for someone to start in this business? Look, man, the BRRRR method. And if you don't have any money, then you got to probably learn wholesaling, do some wholesaling. And my buddy Kenny Rushing, Rushing, can teach you how to do wholesale. He's one of the best in the country. He's amazing. He's done hundreds of millions of dollars worth of wholesale deals and has a proven system that has made many, many, many millionaires.
You didn't really answer the question on deal structure when it comes to, I guess, the investors. Can you tell us specifically an example of like a deal, like a make up a deal that you could do?
It just depends what your investor's goal is. Some of our investors, we just give 8%. That's all they want. They may only want 8% on their money. Some of them may want to be partners. Some of them may want they want tax benefits out of it. Some of them may want long-term equity. You have to listen to your investors and know what they want. What I'll typically do on our hotel deals is we'll do a 50-50 split. And sometimes we'll do, it just depends, man. You got to find out what your investors want and find out what the deal looks like. If you're doing a terrible deal, then typically you got to give 80% of it away to investors, to be honest with you. That's what most deals look like. We don't have to give that much away because our deals are fire, but we are way more actively involved, which what that does is it minimizes their risk because our deals aren't marginal deals. And if the economy does this, they're not like wiped out. We're just, we're ready for that. Come on.
Without going on the MLS, what's the best way to find a deal?
Well, somebody brought it up earlier. Probate. Go to probate attorney. Say, hey, I know you got some properties coming, man. You got people that are dying all the time. You got people that are inheriting properties. These people that are inheriting properties say, man, I don't want to be bothered with that. And he's trashed out. We got everything out of there. Might be records in there. Matter of fact, I just bought a house and we were doing a clean out and there was a bunch of records in there. And I called one of my guys. I said, hey, man, there's some records in here worth some money, man. Why don't you come on down here and you can have them because these guys, they work so hard. And Tim came, he found one record worth $6,000, man. So I was happy that he got that because if not, we got just trashed out. I didn't have time to go through it. And I could have made money, but I didn't care. I want my guys to have money too. If I'm making money, I want them to have money.
Hey, Nate, I bought land in Houston, Texas, and we're approved to start to build a new build on a duplex, but do you have any tips to approach the fact that materials cost way more now and contractors are charging more? It's cutting in my profit. It's a bird deal, but it's my first deal.
Yeah, that's why building from the ground up is tough, man. And guys, we're in a climate where you're going to see massive inflation, which is going to mean your properties are going to go up. But what we really need to compensate all that is we need wages to increase too, because if wages increase, then people can afford more. This has happened back in the 1970s. If you go back and you study that, I'll tell you one of the greatest books that I ever read about understanding economies and how they work is Alan Greenspan, The Age of Turbulence. I want to go back and read that book again this week because it was a great book. Really the thing that you can do is you're going to have to control labor costs because you can't control material costs other than negotiating down. Once we get this affiliate link for you, we will be able to save you some pricing on some of that. But for right now, you're going to have to manage some of them contracts. You're going to say, okay, if you can send me over your bid, I can go through there and tell you what the low-hanging fruit is. Like, hey, man, you could probably save half the money on this paint. You could save this, that. Unless you're using a GC, then you're not really in control of that. So you just got to manage it, brother. You have to hit your numbers come hell or high water. That's it. Or you have to get a higher rent. Now, if you can justify that your rents are going to be higher, you'll be okay. But if your rents are going to be, if you were ultimate, and rents in Houston since last March are up 10%. So you may be in an area where your rents are going to be a lot higher than you expect too. So look into that could save you a lot of times.
New to the game. I want to start fixing and flipping. Any advice where to start?
You don't really want to fix and flip, man. You want to buy and hold. Fix and flip is a job, man. You know, buy and hold. The property does this. You know, you buy the property, it goes up in value every year. Now, I may do a little turbulence, but you're not going to sell it. Look, properties are going to go up, especially in this market we're in, where we're going to see massive inflation. I'm going to do a whole video about that, but I studied this stuff, man. Inflation is already here, guys, and the government is manipulating the numbers, because if they really showed you how much inflation was really at right now, you know what they would have to do? They would have to raise the interest rates to slow down the economy. Let me give you a hint. Right now, the government needs GDP to grow. They can't do it through goods and services. People don't even want to work. Plus, they're giving everybody free money. People don't want to work. Don't work. You can't create goods and services. How do you create more GDP if people don't want to work? Inflation. You let things just, now you had a $15,000 car, it's $25,000. That looks like your economy's grown, but it's not. It's growing through inflation. If the government can create 6% inflation a year for 4 years in a row, and they can peg the bond rate, which they can because they can buy the bonds, at 2%, guess what? They just wiped away 20% of the federal deficit in 4 years. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Next question. What's the next question, brother?
I was trying to pull up TikTok questions, but they're not showing up.
What is your advice on how to start in this business? That was one of them. We already answered that. Let me go down here, guys. Yeah. Do we got any more on Facebook?
How many different banks do you work with on loans for the properties? Do you have a one-on-one or two main go-to relationships?
Relationships, definitely. We have multiple banks. Credit unions are great. But we also have a lender that is a CMBS lender, commercial-backed security lender. They do the larger deals for us. But, man, we got some local credit unions that rock with us that are really great. We got one of them that just my partner Matt and Mike worked on, man, and they were able to get us. It's been a hard property to turn around, but that's okay because we like challenges. 277 units that the bank came and said, "Hey, look, you guys take over the note, and we'll give you some money to renovate." Which now we got to raise some capital for that deal. We just did our CapEx meeting last night and got out, and we know exactly what we got to do to get this thing to break even, and then what we got to do to grow it from there. So local banks are great. Local credit unions are great. Form a relationship. Let them know, and don't feel like they're just giving you a favor. You're bringing them money, which they need. Ultimately, you're bringing them accounts. You're feeding them money. So banks, man, you get in good with a bank, man, and you find out what their goal is. I'll tell you, man, anything in life, your wife, your partners, your investors, your banks, what is your goal? Listen to them. Write it down. What's your goal? And think about it. If you can help them reach their goal as a bank, then you can do business with them.
Cosmic Wisdom, yes, we did answer your question above about the vinyl floor. It is there. It's like a 2 to 3 minute long answer. So, all right. How do you establish credit to get loans for a new LLC?
How do you do what now?
How do you establish credit to get loans for a new LLC?
You know, there are people out here that can help you hack the credit. What they'll do is they'll put trade lines on there and they'll go back and report them. But most of the time, whenever we're buying a new property, that entity that we're buying is going to automatically have income coming in. And so we're able to get a trade line by saying, hey, we'll use our master account, let's say, Nate, whatever. And then we'll say, hey, we need to add this other trade line onto it. and they'll give us another trade line because they know we got more properties. So there are ways to do it. There are hacks. There are people out here that can actually do that for you that specialize in that. Like I think the guy that maybe does the credit affiliate link, we may be dealing with him. He may be able to help with that. But ultimately, guys, what I want you to think about is that when you are doing properties, everybody's worried about their debt to income ratio. That's because you're dealing with residential loan officers. When you start dealing with commercial ones, think about this. You go to the bank. The bank says, well, what's your debt to income ratio? You say, look, dude, I'm buying a property that makes $1,000 a month. Your mortgage is $500. Okay. I am going to pay you out of the $1,000. So why does my debt to income ratio matter if the property that I'm buying makes money and pays you? Commercial bankers understand that. Some residential bankers do, but most of them don't. And it's nothing that's a shot at you guys. It's just not what you do. So if you are going to be the CEO, if you are going to be the leader of your company, you have to find the banker that understands this. You can't get mad because they don't understand it. It's not going to help you. All you got to do is say, okay, this guy doesn't understand it, which is actually I have a interview that we're putting together. You call the banks and you're going to interview him. He's not going to know you're interviewing him, but you're going to ask him questions. And based off these questions, you're going to know this guy is my guy. He knows what he's doing, or he doesn't. That's okay. He's off the list. Call another bank. 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 Oh, this guy knows it. I don't care if you got to call 25. Call him until you find the right guy. Don't go down the path with this guy. He's going to screw your time off, screw your time off, screw your time off, screw your time off. Take another 10 minutes to call somebody else. Find that relationship that works. Find that person that wants you. Find a bank that wants you. Until you've called every bank in your whole area, I don't want you to quit calling banks. And then if you've called every bank in your area and you didn't find them, then start going outside your area. Find a bank that wants you just as bad as you want them.
If the game is to buy and hold, do you burr? If so, what is a good rate for a hard money lender?
Man, listen, brother, I started off with a single house in the hood, bro. Man, I own over 1,500 units burring. And I own hotels, Hilton and Marriott. I mean, come on, man. Yes, this is it. That's what I'm telling you guys, man. This is why I'm giving this to you guys. This is how I made my money, burring. What was the second part of the question?
If so, what is a good rate for a hard money lender?
Who cares? Who cares about the rate for them, man? Don't be fixed on what they want. You know, who cares? If the deal is going to make you 100% and the investor wants 15% on their money, then do the deal. It doesn't matter what they want. Focus on what is left for you after you pay them. But make sure certain that when you say I can make 100% return, in other words, I'm all in for 100,000. The property's worth 200,000. My investor wanted 15%. 15% of 100,000 is 15,000, but I only held the mortgage for 6 months. I owe him 7,500 and 2 points. So I'm 7,500 plus 2% of 100,000. I owe him 9,500. Who cares if he wants 15%, man? Now, if you're doing a deal that's marginal, you can't pay that. So if you can't afford to pay a hard money lender, then honestly, man, the deal is probably not a good deal anyways. I made millions. I told you guys this. I had an investor who started off with $5 million. I started off with nothing. I started borrowing his money from him. At one point, he had over $30,000 a month in passive income coming from me and my partner, Mike. And guess what? We passed his net worth. We passed his net worth using his money. So guys, look, man, he was ecstatic because he was a stock trader and he got tired, was burnt out. I mean, you should see the anxiety that day trading gives you, brother. It was, I go over there, he's got 6 or 8 computers and he just, frazzled and ultimately became one of my really good friends and passed away suddenly, man. And I was talking about him last night. And I just saw his wife. I was down at St. Armand's Circle, right outside Sarasota. And we're sitting out there, me and my wife and 2 kids, we're eating this pizza at some joint over there. And I hear, Nate Barger. And I look up and it was his wife, man. It was just crazy because we live in Cincinnati and so does she. So it was great to see her. And man, I'll forever be grateful to him and her for giving me the opportunity to even help them out with believe in me. And It was a big part of, me starting off. And so hard money can be great, man, but you got to have fire deals.
This is from the guy who was asking about the flooring. He is in Cincinnati. He wants to get the contact that you have. So,
All right, shoot me a private message, brother, and I'll hook you up with my guy over there. Man, he's amazing, brother. With the flooring, carpet, padding. Like I said, I called him Monday, and I said, hey, man, I called him Monday at 2:00. I said, hey, brother, I got 6 units I need to get done tomorrow. He said, all right, I got you, man. He already, because whenever we buy a property, he comes and measures all the floor plans, so he already has them. He knows every property we got. What's the address? Okay, what floor plan? Okay, bam, done. He had them in 4 hours, 6 units.
That's awesome.
You guys might have seen that flip we did in 14 days. They did that whole house too. And then I know the guy was asking, but we use floating floor. We don't use the glue down. We use the 12 mil.
He went back and watched.
Okay, awesome, brother. Yeah.
What states are the best ones to invest in?
The ones where jobs are growing at right now. But you can find value anywhere. I can go to New York and find value. I can go to California and find value. But the problem with New York and California is I have a bunch of government regulation, and not all of New York, but like New York City, where they tell me how much money I can rent. They tell me I don't want to deal with that, man, because I can't go to my investors and say, hey, here's what kind of return I'm going to get you. Oh, but by the way, I don't know. Well, what do you mean you don't know? Well, because the government might come in and change something. So investors want to stay away from them. So I know right now Ohio's on fire. Where we're at is on fire. Not to get into politics, but we tend to want to invest more into the red states. And it has nothing to do with me being I'm actually an independent, but it has more to do with the policies, that they are less government and they're going to stay out of it. And versus the heavy blue states are going to get more involved, and they're going to make sure that the landlords can only charge XYZ amount. And then also you want to stay away from states where unions are really heavy, because that can have an impact on your revenue as well. So I know Florida's on fire. Texas is on fire. Ohio, Indiana, the Midwest states are great. I would stay away from Chicago. I would stay away from the really big cities except the ones in Texas and Florida. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Unless you're local to that area and you just know how to find deals.
It's hot there. Like, it's just lots of people. Markets are crazy there.
Well, you have a lot of job growth. Jobs are moving there because taxes are cheaper. People are moving out of California. You got basic jobs leaving. So watch, when basic jobs leave, every one basic job that leaves it's taking 6 to 10 jobs with it. So watch this. New York, real estate pricing is going down. California, real estate pricing in a lot of areas is going down. Now, San Francisco is so strong and so beautiful and so small. Actually, it's only 48 or 49 square miles. But for the most part, guys, Texas, Florida, your middle states, man, like Ohio is perfect. Probably Kentucky is good, and Indiana. And I know my partner, Matt, he said, hey, man, look, Louisville's fire. We want to start looking in Louisville. And Matt is very, very smart, very analytical. If he said Louisville, he has a very good reason for that, and it has to do with basic jobs.
Let's see.
Utah. Hey, somebody just said Utah's exploding. Yes, Utah's on fire. People want to be out there. People are leaving California, man. They want to come. And California's a beautiful state, but the government's just got crazy over there, man. They're taking all your money. They're telling you what you can do. Las Vegas is probably hot, man. Las Vegas is beautiful, brother. Somebody on TikTok, Joss Medina. I'm sorry, I'm not real good with spelling, but let me work for you in exchange for some knowledge. Hey, man, you got it, bro. Where you at? All them states like that. Vegas is really hot. I think Vegas, maybe because of COVID, maybe had a slight pullback, but that is prime market. Vegas is growing. People are selling their houses in California for so high, they're able to come out to Vegas and retire and buy a house that's equal or better than the house they had and still have a ton of money left. I saw that 2 years ago when we were out there.
Oh, yeah. Definitely people moving to Vegas. My wife is really skeptical about having renters. Any advice?
I mean, here's the deal, man. That's okay for her to be skeptical. Whenever you have somebody skeptical, here's all I'm gonna tell you, man. If she does not have a reason to be skeptical, then what's the thing? If you do not have, so look, what's her reason behind it? What's her right now? What she's telling you is that's her spidey senses. That's her gut, and that's okay. It's like somebody saying, "Well, I don't like this apartment building. It's on a hill." Okay. Hey, I need to see if I can get earth movement insurance. Okay, I can? Okay. All right. Checked off. Now, your concern is met, right? You got to understand something, man, that your option, and I don't know your financial circumstances, is that you are going to probably die not wealthy. You have to do something to change that. And if your wife has some reason that is valid, then you have to validate that, and you have to find a way to satisfy what her validation is. If there's no valid reason, then you have to throw it out the window and you have to march forward, because ultimately you're the head of the house and you have to make sure that your kids and grandkids and great grandkids are set up. And you're not going to do that by being fearful of investing. So
I'm looking at West Virginia to invest in, particularly the Morgantown area because of the university. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, and it's not cheap for someone like me just starting. Will you advise against West Virginia, considering they don't seem to have a huge job growth, but they do have the West Virginia University?
I would have to, I got mixed feelings on that. Universities, I think long-term people are seeing with all the education that's coming out, like we're coming out with an educational course, man, that is going to probably give you more in 5 months than you're going to get in 4 years of university. So I think that, and Mark Cuban's calling for a student, everybody's calling for colleges to slide back some. And I think colleges are great if you know what you're going for and you have a goal. But if you're going there to try to figure out life, it's an expensive way to figure out life. So I got mixed feelings, and I would have to actually do some, more underwriting on that town to know, is there any other demand drivers? What if the university goes away or loses 20%? What does that look like? Is there an oversaturation in the market? And I tend to want to stay away from those areas that don't have multiple demand drivers, even if it's a college.
What would you look for in a duplex or a triplex in the Tampa area?
I would look for one that's in an area that's going to be like right outside where the growth is happening, where the growth is going to come to it. I would look to be able to leverage it. I'd be able to look to be able to get a 6% return or 7% return, borrow the money at 4%, get 2 or 3 point spread off the bank's money, but I'm looking for appreciation there. I would look for one that is not super old. If it is super old, does it have wood damage in it? Is there been any termites? Just all the typical stuff that I would look for anywhere else. But Tampa is on fire, and I got a good buddy of mine down there, Kenny Russian, who his just knows that market great, man. Anybody that needs to know about that market or wants to learn to wholesale, check him out, kennyrushing.com. He has some, this great program down there.
kennyrushing.com. His website is right there.
He's giving you a link. And Kenny has some properties that he wants to sell right now. He's supposed to send them to me, some off-market deals, man. Anybody that has it's probably really, really great deals, man. I'm waiting to get them over.
All right.
Off-market, keyword, off
market. Should I start with Should I start with my BRRRR with multifamily or single family?
Depends. If you have the money, if you have the confidence, if you have the know-how, if you have the team, by all means, man, go buy your 200 unit. It's going to save you a lot of headache, and you're going to leapfrog people. But a lot of people just can't do that because of either money, experience. But I will tell you that Mike, my partner, Mike Ely, whose video you guys just watched. Hey, let us know how you like that video too, man. But the video that we showed you, he actually had 2 people in this group. They met in a group. I'm not sure if they ever did real estate before. I think one of them was a realtor. He didn't know how to find deals. They just syndicated a 294 unit. 2 guys. And Mike brought him in and he mentored him. And within a year, 294 units. And guess what? They already have another 60 units under contract. Within a year, man, you can grow fast and quick, but you got to understand what you're doing first.
Do you manage all of your properties in-house, or do you hire a property management company?
Nope, we manage in-house, or I got my partner Matt and Steve and Robbie, man, great partners, man, and they are fire. We JV with them. We head up the construction side. Me and Mike actually own our and our partner Jamie own a construction or what do you call it, a property management company. We're vertically integrated. We have our own property management company, maintenance company, leasing division. We even have a fire, water, mold restoration company that we own. And Jamie went out and got his lead certification. They're all vertical integrations of us being able to do everything in-house. And so we like to be vertically integrated, not so we can make more money necessarily, but so we can save money, get our investors higher returns, and so we can control dates and deadlines. It's not like we can be like, well, the contractor didn't show up. Well, who's the contractor? We are. Nah, dude, we getting this done, right? Take the bull by the horns and drag it down. But Matt and them are great partners, man. So forget something bigger, 100, 200 units, whatever, send it over there, man, and love partnering with them.
Where should I look for my first burr? Pre-foreclosure, TaxLink, Zillow?
Man, don't limit yourself where you can find a deal. It's like when you were single, man, you're looking for, a wife, or a husband. Don't limit like, well, I kind of think I just want to. Nah, man, go search and scour and find wherever you got to find the deal. You go do what you need to do to get a fire deal. I don't care if you pick up rocks and look under rocks for the deal. Call people, man. You're ordering a pizza. Hey, man, by the way, man, I want pepperoni pizza, but do you know anybody that has any houses they want to sell? No? Okay, yeah, I know it's a weird question, but just thought I would ask. You never know. Just talk to people. Let them know you're looking for property. I'll pay you a $500 fee if you bring me a property I can close on, or more.
All right, let's see. We have over $100,000 in equity in our personal home. Would you use that to burr?
Yes, your equity is doing nothing for you. It's sitting there. If you can go borrow that money from the bank at 4% and go do a burr where you're getting 15% cash, and you're getting 20% appreciation because you leverage it out, you're making 35%. You're borrowing the money for 4%. Yes, plus through the burr process, you're going to be able to probably get most of the money back to replace the HELOC. So go get a HELOC. If you don't know how to do the burr, don't worry. Got this online course that we're going to be creating. It's going to show you step by step.
What do we call that? We call that dead money.
Dead money, man. It's sitting there dead. It's actually dying because I did a thing yesterday. No, I ain't going to go into that, man. Your money's dying because we're going through massive inflation. And so you're inflating, the government's inflating your money away. You're losing $100,000 sitting there. Is losing 6% of its buying power every year if we have 6% inflation, which the government's not going to tell you we have that. But my speculation is that it's probably higher than 5% right now.
We are only 73 subscribers away from 3,000 on YouTube.
Hey, man, go join YouTube. Let's get over 3,000 subscribers today. We just started less than 90 days ago, and thanks to you awesome people, man, we have we're about to go to where we have all our time in where we can monetize it as well. So
rocking it. Where should I look for my first burr? Oh, we already did that one. I think that's all. Do you have any over on TikTok?
Guys, look, man. Nope, no more on TikTok. We let me go through and just make sure.
Hey guys, don't forget the course link right above. That is the sign up, the pre-sale, or the pre-registration. So we know that you are interested. I think we have like 40 or 50 people so far that's already signed up. So do that so you can be the first in line and possibly get the biggest
You know what
discount.
we'll do? We'll get whoever pre-signs up. We'll come out with something for you guys. So you guys make sure you go do the pre-sign up. We'll probably give a class away for free. Let's get some people to pre-sign. We'll give a class away for free. We'll give out some millionaire real estate dollars for you guys to spend, discounts on that. And hey man, look, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And until the next time, some of this is going to be live too. Matt's going to put this on YouTube, so you guys make sure you go over there and check it out. Send people over there to watch it. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have an awesome day.
We'll end with Mike's video.
There you go.
Sometimes in life, dreaming just won't get it. And paying bills all your life and then dying. And then while you lay in the casket, you talk about, I made it to heaven. I don't know about you, but that's not the reality or legacy I want to live. I'm not trying to die to get to heaven. You can have heaven right now. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to be up there, but you are more than average. You were brought here on this earth to live the abundant life in the land of abundance. Now, there's nothing wrong with dreaming. I encourage it. I actually believe in BHAG's big, hairy, audacious goals. But taking massive action with your dreams, with your BHAGs, now that's what makes dreams a reality. People come to me and say, Mike, there's no way I can do it because you're smarter than me. I say you're wrong. I say you can do it. It's not that you have to be smart. Now, but you do need to be competent, but relentless and not afraid to fail. Quite frankly, my failures were my best teachers. Now, trust me, it doesn't really feel that great to fail, but I cherish my failures. It's not that I'm smarter or better than you. It's just I didn't quit after the second or third try. I was told that all things are possible. So instead of only trying 2 or 3 times, I tried 597 more times. And on the 600th try, I got it. And I learned what not to do and what to do along the way. This is what it means to outwork them. Do more than what is expected of you. The reason you are not winning is because you quit too early. You will never win if you quit. Walking out on a path of uncertainty just because you believe in the dream, well, now that's unnatural. Because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're walking through this uncomfortable place, the place of unfamiliarity. But this is where your greatest learning begins. This is where the magic happens. Then as you walk through this wilderness, you feel like you're lost and the mountain lions of life begin to attack. But then a lifeline is thrown to you. Someone builds the bridge you need to get to your life and financial destination. Stop dreaming because this is your backyard of life. That's your hotel room with the view. That's your boat. That's your condo on the water. But don't limit your thinking. Be the developer. Be the builder with equity. Be the investor with equity. Take control of your life. Take control of your financial destination. Because the harder you work, the luckier you get. God bless you, God keep you, and may God bless you beyond your belief, but not your capacity. And remember, you're one big deal away.